Hello there. Yeah, well, it is Wednesday. I said that sometime toward the middle of the week I would let you know if I was able to get off my butt and do anything. And yeah, I made a few calls this morning. Um, I checked back through my phone to see when the last time a case manager from Coleman called me, and apparently it hasn't been since the 18th. So I don't think I missed any appointments, but I wrote her a text telling her to use the other phone number. But that just seems weird to me because that's like over a month, and we were doing like 2 weeks appointments. So maybe I should have looked on my other phone. I don't know. I don't feel like doing anything. I'm discouraged in general with everything. So I got a high degree of irritability the last couple of days. Instead of taking two half pills, I took three half pills, and I mixed in some Neurontin in there. Um, because of the pain. Really, everything has been messed up since September 22nd because that messed up my knee. And I don't know what to do with my knee or what to do about my knee. And it's really scary. And I was checking out my calf on my right leg, and I don't have hardly any calf muscle, if you can call that a calf muscle, on my left leg. So it's like, well, my knee is bent backward like an ostrich, and I don't have, I seem to be losing muscle mass on my lower right leg, probably from just not walking around on it. But I don't know if I can. All I know is I walk around on it and it hurts a lot. So, it hurts to where like close to unbearable. So, you know, I end up taking like four Neurontin, which I have a limited amount of Neurontin. So, um, yeah, I think I'll give it a day until I can get a hold of the Coleman caseworker, because she can like arrange the appointment for me to see these Lifeline people that I was talking about. They're like the Walmart of doctors. They got like um, I guess they got like a office set up to where there's like a dentist section, primary caregiver section, and even an optometry section, which I'm excited about because I've been wearing bifocals for like ever. That's all. That's the only thing I got to keep me from blindness. I don't have any contacts or anything like that. I haven't had an eye exam for about 3 years, and you can't. Yeah, 1-800 contacts is not going to give you contacts if you haven't had an eye exam for like 3 years. So I tried to do that over the computer with no luck. Um, Even if you know your prescription, it doesn't matter because the prescription's expired. So I got like a super high degree of irritability. I forget what I was doing yesterday, but I was like anything that doesn't work like right away, I get really irritable with, and I don't have any patience at all. Um, I believe it's the 27th, so um, let's see, that would be like 9 days. I think it's 9 days until I get a Valium refill. So I don't know. You know, I didn't take any Valium this morning to get me off my behind to start calling people. So I got my, I don't know, I probably didn't even say that, but I got like my cardiology appointment. I don't even remember what I said like 10 minutes ago. I wrote a fairly short text, but basically, I wanted to say I'm slipping off the face of reality because that's what it feels like. I'm just like disconnecting and drifting away in the ocean somewhere in like a life raft without any oars. That's what it feels like. And it's like, yeah, um, I have to make these appointments and walk on my bad leg and wear a diaper, whatever the fuck I got to do, but I got to make these appointments. And lately I've been okay on that score, as far as like not have to do that humiliating thing. Um, I I don't know. I don't want don't talk about that. I never like to talk about that. But that's just a reality I have to deal with. Um, yeah, for like quite some time now. It's like not a new thing. So, anyways, that's what happens when you don't feel your body right. You can't tell what the hell's going on half the time. Like I said, even when I was young and strong, I was taking a walk through a bad neighborhood where you always have to carry a weapon, and all I had for a weapon was like the British called a spanner, but I just had like a big fucking wrench that I stuck in my back pocket in case I had to crack anybody's skull with it. And I walked down to my brother-in-law's house, and I sat on his chair, and I was like, man, you gotta get some more comfortable chairs down here. I didn't even know I was sitting on this wrench that was like yay big, big ass fucking wrench. I just forgot about it. And I was like, your chair is uncomfortable. It's like, no, you're sitting on a wrench and you don't even fucking know it. So there you go. That's all the explanation you need for that. But that's what I'm thinking about. It's like, oh, I haven't been. When is the last time I've been out of here and actually made any appointments to where, or got in a motor vehicle, made any appointments, done anything at all? It's like not for a long time. So that ought to be fun. I'm so edgy and nervous like all the time. Like if something doesn't work right away, I have to watch myself. I might break it, like my refrigerator not opening, or it's like if I can't get a jar open, I'm liable to try to crack the. You know how you crack the lid and dent the lid so you can open it. I'm liable to break the whole jar. Instead of just like tapping the lid in anger. I'm on the edge of exploding like all the time. I don't like it. At least I don't have to deal with people or I might be dangerous as far as like taking a swing at somebody. I don't even know how dangerous I would be as far as hitting them. It might be like uh, when I saw this Canadian show called Letterkenny that somebody recommended to me and I watched, and somebody punched somebody in it, and they were like, you know what? If I feel that the next time, I'm going to be irritated. It's like that. I don't know if me hitting anybody would have any effect on on them at all. But yeah, it was funny in that show. Somebody punched somebody, and they were like, "If I feel that next time, I might be irritated. I might, I might get angry." They didn't punch him in the face. It was like a woman punching a guy in the leg or in the arm really hard. Um, but yeah, this week started out on a really positive note, which uh, I well, my phone is like totally useless now, so I'm trying to get everybody to call the other phone. It's like I said, I had my elbow resting on the phone, or I would have missed my warning phone call for my cardiology appointment last Tuesday that I just rescheduled because the ringer like randomly doesn't work, and it's like I was texting with somebody on it like on Monday, and everything was going fine, and then like I waited for him to text back and I didn't hear from him, and I just picked up the phone and it's like, oh, they did text me back like 47 minutes ago, and I'm like, is the ringer on this thing? And I'm like, the ringer's on, but it didn't do no warning sound to let me know I got a text. And it's like, does that mean like the text alerts are off? I don't remember turning the text alerts off, so it kind of like has a mind of its own and does its own thing. So um, I get 350 free minutes on it a month. Sorry, I'm just gonna. I pay for unlimited minutes on there. It costs me $15. If I pay it on the phone that I like, it costs me $20 a month. So I'm just gonna pay $20 a month and get unlimited minutes on this other phone. And I just already got it scheduled for automatic payments. And, I'm just gonna switch everything to this other phone. Also, the battery life in the HAL 2000 phone, the erratic computer, that phone that's plotting against me, uh, it doesn't hold any life to it. The battery like dies. It doesn't. You don't even have to use it. It's just like it dies really quick, and then the other phone, the battery lasts longer and everything too. So it makes sense on that level as well. And that thing also pops up ads like crazy. So really, I'm surprised that I haven't snapped and thrown that phone against the wall. But free minutes are free minutes. So it's a Lifeline phone from Assurance Wireless. Um, I hate to think. Anyways, the positive note that I was starting to talk about before I started yelling at my phone is somebody um, that owes me money. I checked that phone that I was bitching about, and I was like, oh, they did send me a text like on the 14th, and they asked me if I was okay. So I started texting them. It's still, you can still text with it. It just doesn't tell you when you get text. I was texting with them, and it looks like they are going to agree to pay me through PayPal. I explained to them like whatever it costs you, because if you're linked to a bank account like me, it's free to use PayPal. If you're linked to a credit card, it's not free to use PayPal to send people money. So it's like whatever you can send me money, and whatever it costs you to send me money, I'll just wipe off your debt. And I'm like, I'm like, I haven't talked to this person in months, so I'm like real carefully, like choosing each word carefully for maximum not piss you off effect. So just being real careful. So I'm like, you can like, because they were like, I was kind of just like leave money in your mailbox, but I thought that would be a bad idea. And I'm like, well, there's no thieves that live in the building anymore, as far as I know. It's like my mail doesn't get stolen or anything like that, so that would have been okay if you gave me a little warning about it. I get my mail like every other day or so. So as long as nobody sees you do it, it looks like, well, as long as nobody sees you put anything in the mailbox to where it'd be a problem. If it's at night, it's not going to be a problem. You don't know what you're dropping off anyway. But I was told him like, this place is different now. It's like I'll leave my window open for the cat at night. It's like when the meth heads were here and now they're scum, and my that drunken pocket maniac guy was here, I would have never left my window open like that. But it's different now. Anyway, she agreed to do that and use PayPal. And I was like, oh, that's cool, because she wants to pay me back. And then, if she gets in the routine of using PayPal, all she has to do is use PayPal when she gets paid. And it's not a big deal, and she don't have to drive like a long way trying to pay me back or try to, get a hold of me to make sure I'm awake or alive or aware that she's coming or whatever. So that's cool because we're talking like $2,000, and then as far as like my EBT card with the 1,200 on it, it's like, yeah, it could work out pretty good for me. So that's cool because yeah, they were like they didn't want to, I was like, it doesn't matter as far as the fee or whatever it's going to cost you because I got like $1,200 on that food card that I can't spend anyway. And they were like, well, I didn't want to spend that because I didn't want to get further in debt. And I was thought about it, and I was like, yeah, don't say anything at all about that. Okay, don't say anything at all about that, or like point out that money is money, and like it's not really getting further in debt. But the thing of it is like with a lot of people, they can't set money aside. You know, they can't just set it aside. So in other words, like you could use the card and then set the money that you were going to spend aside, or leave it in the bank and then get it to me later. But it doesn't work that way with a lot of people because they tap into that money. So I didn't point that out, that it's like not really logical. I do understand it though, as far as like that's a difficult thing for some people to just like, okay, set this money aside because I spent this money and owe this person this money. It's like that's why um, this one guy used to borrow money off of. It's like he was the best guy to borrow money off of because he just made the rounds and he called it Payback Day instead of payday. And he would just make the rounds. And if he told you that he was going to pay you on the 18th at 1 o'clock, by God, he was going to be there on the 18th at 1 o'clock. So it's like I never had trouble. I was an alcoholic. I never had trouble lending that guy any money. I never loaned him any larger sum of money, I think, than $50. But it's like that guy's like no worries. He's like clockwork. A lot of people can't do that. I think the reason why the guy was doing that is like he wanted to get that money out of his hands and into the proper channels before he had to spend it on booze. I think was where I was going with that. But yeah, I didn't. I just like was careful about it, and then like the way I approached it was, it doesn't matter as far as the fee, or I can pay you the fee back, and like I did uh, with my brother, or we can do this, or I gave him like options and then said it's up to you. I said it makes the most sense to do it this way, but it's up to you. And they were like, well, that'd be fine. Now, we could have had that conversation like, I don't know, 6 months to a year ago, but sometimes those conversations don't go well. So I was like, cool, okay, we'll see Friday. I don't know if I should like try to actually have an actual conversation with them before Friday, but if I can get him into the habit of doing that, I can get paid back. Not only can I get paid back, I might get future proceeds from the EBT card. So yeah, that's all good. I mean, gotta start um, getting serious about saving money. Um, Thinking about selling what cards I can. Kind of want to hold on to most of my cards until football season starts next year. That's just the best time to sell them, is right before the season when everybody's all hopeful that their team might be good. And sports fans like me are delusional lots of times. It's like, yeah, we're overly optimistic, like I was before the 2019 season, and like every Browns fan was, because we almost made the playoffs in 2018. Why, we're going to be really good in 2019. It's like there's no way we can go wrong. Yeah, okay. But anyways, uh, yeah, I have some stuff I can sell. It's like, maybe I'll get started doing that. It's just like I'm really irritable and I don't want to do a whole lot of anything. So, but I'm mildly pleased with myself because I did something, anything. So trying to reconnect with the case manager person. I suppose tomorrow, if I wanted to set very minor goals for myself, I could try. I could maybe find out who my care source manager is and maybe call them. But I think if I can get a hold of the case manager, or I can just like look up Lifeline, whatever the hell it is, and like call them and I don't know, make the appointment myself like an adult. I mean, I could do that. But I really am suffering from depression for good reason and general miserableness. As far as like everything irritates me, man. Everything. I've been stuck in the house for a very long time. I'm pretty sure most people would be batshit crazy by now. I've been stuck in the house for a very long time. I've been under quarantine before anybody even knew what the word COVID was. Been under quarantine for like ever. And at least before September 22nd, I could like walk around the house and like my knee wouldn't be in excruciating pain. I would have a lot of pain, but not like, really like insane amounts. So you're not sleeping with that. And speaking of sleeping, that's why I've gone from what would it be, 5 milligrams to 7.5 milligrams the last couple days. So I've been having trouble sleeping at night, and I did wake up sometime between, I think 8:30 we'll call it. Sometimes sometime between 8 and 9, but I was waking up after 10, which I don't like, and going to sleep 2 to 4 in the morning. It's not good for me. So I was like, yeah. And because of the chronic pain and stuff, sleeping's not an easy matter. I mean, a lot of people, like, because of anxiety or stuff like that, um, they have trouble sleeping. Or if they got PTSD symptoms, like my brother, with anxiety and stuff like that, he's always, every time I talk to him, it's pretty much the same. Trying to get my sleeping schedule right. He goes around groggy half the time. He has like really bad dreams. I've been having a lot of dreams lately, so um, just means I don't sleep sound. It makes me wonder about my overall mental state when I have bad dreams. I don't really get like nightmares to where I wake up and I'm freaking out. I don't want to go back to sleep. Those aren't the kind of bad dreams I have. I have like a dreams fraught with emotion that make me sad when I wake up. I don't have like dreams being chased by ex murderers and whatnot. I did get beheaded in a dream once, which somebody thought was odd. It's like, yeah, I got beheaded in my dream, and they were like, "How can you get beheaded in a dream?" I'm like, "Well, it happened." I woke up after I didn't have a head, but I didn't have a head for a while in a dream. I said, "Okay, did that bother you?" And I'm like, "Oh, not really. It doesn't really bother me." People. I mean, nightmares are a serious thing to a lot of people. So I'm grateful that I don't have like the nightmare effect. Even when I'm getting beheaded in a dream, I don't have like nightmares where I wake up terrified and sweating or whatever. Because that one guy I talked about a few times, a 300 to 350 pound monster that broke that guy's hand with the ball peen hammers. He did some time in the army, I think, in war and has PTSD from it and has like he gets a lot of bad nightmares and stuff. That guy is a nightmare, so you know. I mean, that's one of it probably the scariest human being I've ever met that wasn't related to me. Yeah, that guy was just scary. He looked like he could like park a car manually. You know what I mean? Just pick it up and move it where he wanted to. Like one of them guys that you stand behind in the grocery store and you wonder if you're there's is it. I didn't know there was supposed to be an eclipse today. Like you can't. I'm 6'1", and sometimes I stand. I used to don't anymore, of course, but I used to stand behind this one dude. I just called him the human eclipse, though I never spoke to him because I would literally have to take a couple of steps to look around him. It was like it wasn't like I could lean my head and look around him and see what's going on in front of him. I actually had to take a step to look around him. The guy was so big. This guy's like the size of your average NFL lineman. That I'm talking about, the guy who has the nightmares and suffers from nightmares. So that's like a big thing to even like scary human beings. Their brain torturing them while they sleep. So I just have like emotional type dreams. Uh, but it's a start. I mean, trying to like reconnect to um, these people that are supposed to help me. It just hasn't been working out. And yeah, I had one of them case managers make me an appointment with the guy that hurt my leg on the 22nd. That ever since September 22nd, things have just been torturous. I mean, I could set some other goals for myself, like I don't know, finally putting down the roach poison or whatever. But when you don't want to move on your leg, I mean, yeah, you really you got all that pain blocking you from doing something. You don't have a lot of incentive to do it. Still have been thinking about something I can do for exercise. You know, work out some kind of routine. I don't know. Um, but yeah, just laying here is not going to do it. So, anyways, that's my update as far as like trying to do something. It just I can't help it. It just all seems very pointless to me. It's like body don't work, don't want to eat. I mean, I starved myself yesterday because I didn't want to eat. I did that thing where you get the acid reflux and like I don't know. I don't want to be gross, but yeah, I think I could have like the rock star syndrome and stuff. It's like if I took too many drugs, I think I could die choking on my vomit because like I don't know. I just go to sleep sometimes and then I wake up like coughing and food will want to come back up and I'll have like a whole bunch of stomach acids. My throat's sore from it now. So last night I was like, well, I haven't eaten but one meal today and some potato chips. And then like I coughed up a potato chip before I went to sleep. And I'm like, I guess I'm still not eating. I'm gonna drink a bunch of milk and some baking soda water. So I was doing real good with that, but that came back on me. And that's a bad thing because you get those stomach acids. Those stomach acids are powerful. They can, if you have too much stress, they can eat holes in your stomach called ulcers, which I'm sure you knew. And so when you get them like coming up and in your throat and stuff, you're going to get a sore throat. And yeah, so um, that's a relatively new phenomenon that's going on with me. And I don't know, when you got a laundry list of problems, you're not real motivated. And like I said, you get that overwhelmed type feeling where you're like, man, you just want to wave a white flag. That's about as much activity. I give the fuck up. You just want to be like that, but that there's always that's why I said um, that whole thing about well, things could be worse. Yeah, things could always be worse, and they will get worse if you don't do anything about it for sure. Now, it's always a coin flip how things will go, but it will definitely get worse if you don't address problems and if you don't like my stress level's not going to get better. It's going to be like torture for me to go to a doctor, but it's not. My stress level is just going to get worse and worse. The more passive you are about things, and the more you let things slide, like I've been doing. I mean, that's what I can do tomorrow. Is I'll give this woman a chance to. Actually, it's on this phone. I wrote the text on that phone, but I'll give her a chance to text me back today on this phone. And if she doesn't, uh, I'll call her tomorrow. And if I don't get her personally, I'll call the agency tomorrow. I mean, I can do that. Uh, yeah, I I do feel better. Like a little bit more relaxed since I made an effort and, like I said, tried to connect with some people. And I think I can hold off um, taking my first dose of Valium for the day. I mean, I woke up at 8:30. I can't see what the damn. It's 10 after 11. I'm sure I can hold off till like 1 or 2. And I can probably get away with taking just two doses, 2.5 milligram doses of Valium today. And if I can get some physical activity in there somehow, you know, I might be able to get some sleep. And I apologize for all the knows, but just because I did a couple of things doesn't mean I'm in good brain. Um, and my throat really does hurt. Um, yeah, that's about it. I don't really have nothing else to say. I just, yeah, not the best video, but it is an update, and I did do a couple of things, and I'm going to try to keep trying. You think that, like, getting that good news on Monday and getting that sorted out to an extent would have, you know, gave me a push toward making phone calls, but it took me 48 hours to make any phone calls after that. That's something that's been on my mind. When somebody owes you $2,000, it's like kind of a big deal if you're poor, and it also not having talked to this person for over 2 months. It's finally good to have some kind of communication with them, even if we didn't speak on the phone. We at least texted each other. So you think that would have been enough to get me moving before Wednesday if I had that conversation on Monday. But no, that's about how I'm doing, you know. It takes me 2 days to summon up the nerve to make a couple of, try to make some connections. What it is starting up the whole process. That's failed me 1 billion times. You know, okay, doctors, like people, okay, this never works out. Not only does it never work out, but then I have to deal with making appointments and like more stressors, and you know the edginess and the stress level that I'm under is pretty intense. But I can like moderate my Valium dosage. Buku Valium, so you know, just moderate my dosage to adjust for added stress. I can't go around like a ticking time bomb, like all the time. You know, I can get away with that if I'm in my little inner sanctum where um, I don't have to deal with people, I don't have to deal with stressors, and I don't have to deal with anything but physical pain and discomfort in general, ickiness. But if I have to go somewhere, if I have to talk to people, if I have to thread a needle, no, you know, I just don't have the patience for anything. Uh, so the fight continues. You know, I don't want to give up until I'm sure that my knee is fucked, and then I'll give up. So I don't want to give up until I've exhausted all possibilities for walking normal and with a minimum of pain. If I can walk enough just to get out of the house and take a walk, that's huge. Um, or walking, I can't even walk enough to like walk down the steps that you walk like out here, like where that little bit of light's coming in, and there's steps like right there. But those steps are treacherous as hell, and I'm not walking down them because I'm not falling down concrete steps onto concrete. But like I can't even like walk around the house and clean up that mess out there that I made by throwing cardboard boxes out for homeless people type shelter for homeless cats. And there's some dishes out there too where I'm like, just threw dishes out the window. By dishes, I mean like the plastic containers for microwave food, because I'll have like cat food in it, and just like throw it out the window instead of bothering with strings and pull up the strings that are connected to food containers. Speaking of which, I had to check on my cat, and I'll give him some tuna fish and make his day because he's easy. I bought him lunch meat, and like I was surprised, like because I was eating half the lunch meat. It was supposed to be all for him, but I was like, you know what? That's easy on the stomach, man. Some Swiss cheese and turkey lunch meat sandwiches with some mayo. That's easy on the stomach. So I ate half of his lunch meat. So I kind of owe him a can of tuna. I was eating all his lunch meat I bought for him, but he didn't know it. Don't tell him. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to you. Like I said, I'll keep making videos like every few days, and won't have like no 10-day layoff or anything like that. For those of you that enjoy my company, goodbye.